the years of marriage we've had, not together, but separately, married to different women,
wives,
that we pretty much are experts at marital advice, and that's what today's segment is.
Yeah.
It's regarding marital advice.
Marital advice, which is kind of funny because I had a...
And truth.
And truth, because we're a truthful channel.
Truthful channel, but also truthful marital advice.
It's not Hollywood. We don't sugarcoat
No.
nothing. And not, hey, do my hand thing again. Just gotta keep my hands still.
Yeah, keep your hands still.
So yeah, so he asked me for marital advice, and I was like, George, I gotta ask you, because I mean, you've been married a lot longer than me.
Right.
I've been married 7 years, not 8, 7. I almost said 8. You've been married 25 years.
Well, we got married in.
Sorry to put you on the spot, George.
We got married in 1991, so this is 2019. So figure that. That's like 28 years. It's a long time.
Oh, 91. I was alive then.
Yeah, well, but again, you start out marriage like a lot of things, Josh, and that is you approach it in a truthful way.
Truth.
For example.
Hashtag truth.
For example. And you got to use comedy. And, like my wife and I remember many, many years ago, we were at the kitchen counter and we were arguing our heads off right at each other.
I love this story.
We don't even know what it was about to this day, but we were arguing big time. And she kept, you know how some people, not necessarily women, but some people would just kind of flip their eyes like, like that, flip their eyes like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're ridiculous. The disrespect of the eye flipping.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
So my wife kept doing that, and I was really getting heated about this argument, whatever the argument was about. And finally, I just said, "You flip-eyed buzzard." So I called her a flip-eyed buzzard, and we just looked at each other and just died laughing right at that time when I called her a flip-eyed buzzard. And that comedy relief, that shocking relief of calling somebody a flip-eyed buzzard right there, just set it off where, again, to this day, we don't know what in the world we were arguing about. But that is my advice to you. Do something shocking, whether it's calling your wife or husband a flip-eyed buzzard or some other type of shocking name that stops the argument.
That's good advice.
Very good advice.
Good advice. I wouldn't advise calling her a flip-eyed buzzard unless you're wanting to change the whole arguing thing, right? Just change it up.
Change it
then
up.
You're laughing and you forget. Right?
Then you forget. You just totally forget. And to this day, we don't know what it was about. But, we do know the wording of flip-eyed buzzard and how that basically saved our marriage.
Flip-eyed buzzard, folks. When in doubt, go to the buzzard. The flip-eyed buzzard.
Go to the buzzard.
True.
What about you, Josh?
Well, actually, it's funny that we're doing a video about this today because earlier, after church, and it's funny, we have something funny about church, too, to tell you. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, so right after church, we go eat at McAllister's Deli, right?
Yep. Can we mention that name?
I hope so.
Okay.
If not, McAllister's, you have the best sweet tea I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Go ahead.
Anyways, so we go to a grocery store.
Yeah.
And it's a grocery store that you gotta, that no one sacks it for you. You gotta sack it all by yourself. Well, the girl behind, or the guy behind the counter will sack it for you. And actually, I hate going there because I'm the worst sacker in the world. She gets so mad at me when I sack things. I guess I do it in the wrong order.
Down.
Sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry. And anyways, we go to this store, and so she's like, "You can sit in the car," and I'm like, I want to sit in the car, yes. Is it the smartest thing to do? No, because she said it in that tone, like, "Well, I'll go in. You sit in the car."
I've heard that tone.
You know that tone?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm tired. I really don't want to go in. So
Right.
She said it. I'm just gonna sit in the car.
Yeah.
It wasn't a minute and a half later, I get a phone call, and it's her. And she said, I forgot to bring the peanut butter in. I'm exchanging it. Can you bring it in? I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, yeah, I'll be in there. And so I'm walking up, and she's, like, standing right outside the door. She's like, you can go back to the car. I'm like, nope, I'm in it now. We're going in. So we get in there and go in. And we're shopping and get to the register, and I always have to come up with something to say to the
Right.
cashiers. Because it's usually a lady behind the counter every time we go.
Mhm.
It's a girl, a young girl, older girl, lady, it don't matter.
No.
And of course, I want to sack the groceries, but she won't let me. So then I go to this whole spiel of how I can't sack the groceries anymore and how I feel bad. But yeah, that's long story short. The advice thing, just go in, because inside they say they don't care. It's up to you, but really they're saying he better go in.
Josh,
he better
that's
go in.
another area that we may want to touch on is
What?
saying yes.
Yes.
I would say most of the time you should say yes.
Yeah.
When they ask you something that they pretty much know that they want you to agree with, just say yes. And the reason I say that is you've heard the old saying of just say no. Well, in marriage it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
For a husband, he has to say yes. And my strong marital advice to most guys would be just say yes.
Just
And
need the yes man.
you got to be careful. You got to have like one ear open when you're saying yes, because I recall one time my wife I was trying to watch a basketball game, and she was saying all this stuff, and I was just doing what I do best. I was saying yes, yes, dear, yes, yes. And she, without me really thinking, because I was really into this game, which had like 30 seconds to go, and it was tied. But she
A lot
said,
can happen in 30
a
seconds.
lot can happen in 30 seconds, and a lot did happen in 30 seconds, because she, in her way, she asked if I wanted to go to an opera with a couple of friends.
Oh, jeez.
And I said yes.
Wait,
without really
stop.
thinking.
Interrupted the basketball game to see if you want to go to an opera.
Yeah,
What?
she's asking me
That's
these
the
things,
worst.
and I say yes. And so when I say yes with an open heart, but also both ears open, because you want to make sure most of the time what you're saying yes to.
Oh.
Don't ever make that mistake, gentlemen. Do never make that mistake. So say yes, but keep your ears open in case you have to pause.
And after a while, you learn to, hey, it comes in one ear, and you automatically say yes, but you'll hear certain things, and you're like, oh, no. Like, there's no way.
I didn't have my radar up that day, so the opera radar, so it went through somehow.
Oh,
So,
that's the worst.
so I paid
Opera.
for it.
Yeah.
You got to pay for things, and once you commit to that and say yes, you're done. Because one thing we are about this show is we're truthful.
Truth.
And
Hashtag
whatever we say, whatever we do, it's going to be the truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
Truth is right here on this channel.
Truth shall set you free,
That's right.
and it set us free many times.
It got us in trouble many
Yeah,
times.
there's no doubt. But there's a lot of things you can do as far as providing marital advice. I mean, I could be here all night giving marital advice, but I say
You're the marital advice guru.
well, I am, but that's not anything I want to focus on tonight. I want to just be able to say the main thing is you want to be truthful.
Truthful.
That's what this show's about.
Truth.
But that's also the way we interact with our wives. We're truthful.
That's right.
We want to agree with them. We want to say yes with open ears, and be mindful of that. Be mindful that sometimes you may be saying yes to things that you may not want to do, but is it better for the marriage to go ahead and suck it up and do it?
Well,
Sometimes it is.
that brings me to the point, though,
What point?
we were talking about earlier. Restaurants.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go to eat?
Where do you want to go to eat?
It happens every week. So I'm doing the arm thing again. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Just for example, let's do a little role play here. You're the husband, I'm the wife.
Okay, that works.
Go ahead.
No, I'm the husband. I'm going first. So
Yeah.
you hungry?
Yeah.
Or no? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
What would you like?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Any place you want to go is fine with me.
I saw this commercial of that pizza joint down the road. I've been wanting to check it out. Care if we have pizza?
No.